Hey Savvies! So we're getting ready to go to Switzerland this weekend, and I thought I'd show you what we typically do when we travel. We like to travel a lot. We travel overseas probably twice a year, but we travel once a month back to Montreal often, and I hate feeling like I'm being held hostage to the restaurants that are like on the en route along the 401, and I really don't like spending money on food, especially if I don't like it. So usually I like to pack my own food. So I'm going to share with you 3 easy travel recipes that you can take in the car, that you can take even on the airplane. So I don't know if you know this, but on the airplane you're pretty much allowed to take any type of food you want, just as long as it's obviously not yogurt, no dips, no liquids, nothing that looks like it could be a chemical, I guess. And that's really good because it allows you more flexibility if you have flexible or a restrictive diet, and you don't need to rely so heavily on what the airport is serving. So the first recipe I'm going to share with you are roasted chickpeas that I made in my Tefal. They're crunchy, they're salty, they're spicy, they're perfect even for school. The second recipe I'm going to share with you are my cookies and cream energy bites. I love to bring energy bites with me whenever we travel, just because they're super versatile. You can get a lot of nutrients. Having a few will keep you satisfied for the afternoon if you have a tea with it. So it's really, really great to have with you when you're traveling, even with kids, I assume. And then the final recipe, which is the main dish, is my cashew pineapple Thai fried rice. It's spicy. It can be eaten cold. There's lots of veggies, it's packed full of nutrients, there's tofu. You'll surely feel satisfied during your plane ride. I hope you enjoy the recipes. You're going to add your chickpeas and your oil into your Tefal, and the total cooking time is going to be 20 minutes, but I'm only going to set it to 10 minutes because I'm going to add my seasoning. So I'm going to add some chili powder, some onion powder, garlic powder, some salt, and a bit of paprika. And I like to add my seasonings halfway through the cooking time because if you add it at the beginning, I find the seasoning actually disintegrates and you don't taste anything at the end. So I like to add it in halfway through and then cook it for another 10 minutes, and then at the end it becomes super roasted, super flavorful, crunchy, and perfect for snacking. Now for your cookies and cream bites, you want to add 1 super ripe banana. The riper the better because the sweeter and silkier it gets. Then you're going to add in your unsweetened coconut flakes, some coconut oil, some maple syrup, and then you want to blend this all together so that it becomes super compressed and super silky and smooth. Then it's probably about 30 seconds, and then you're going to scrape down the sides and add in your carob chips. The reason why I add my carob chips at this point is because I don't want it completely chopped up. I just want it slightly incorporated so that it gives you that cookies and cream texture. When you look at the mixture, you can still see the chunks of carob chips, and this is exactly what you want. You're going to take a mini cupcake scooper and you're going to make about 20 to 24 bite-sized balls, and then you're going to put it in your fridge overnight. You can even freeze this for another time, and then when it's cold, it's actually more delicious. It's super compact, it's super flavorful, super refreshing. It's perfect for any snack. Now it's time for the main event, for the rice. I would like to use leftover rice, but I didn't have any, so I'm going to just cook up some fresh rice. And then now I'm just going to prepare all of my ingredients. It's super important to prepare all of your ingredients ahead of time because while you're cooking it, it's just going to be easier to add it, and it's also going to make less of a mess and less of a cleanup for you in the end. Now I'm going to go and make that egg scramble. So I'm just taking half a block of firm tofu, crumbling it up into bite-sized crumbled pieces, and adding, this is completely optional, but adding some black salt and some turmeric just to give it that super eggy look and that eggy flavor. It will make your dish yellow, which I don't mind, but honestly, if you're incorporating more nutrients into it, then why not? The turmeric actually is what makes it look eggy. And then that's it. And then now you're going to cut up all of your aromatics. So you're going to start with a small red onion. And again, you just want everything diced up. And I find with my fried rice, it's super delicious to have red onion and garlic. So you're going to chop up your red onion, and then you're going to add garlic. Now, I don't know if garlic is typically traditional in a fried rice, but I just love it because it's super nutrient dense and it just adds a lot of flavor. And you're going to put this into the same bowl as your onion, and then you're going to chop up your
carrots. So I'm chopping up 2 carrots because my carrots were quite small. So if you have 1 large carrot, that's fine. Also, if you already have some frozen veg that you have in the freezer, like those mixes that people use in fried rices, you can go ahead and just use 2 cups of that. But since I have fresh veggies on hand, I'm just going to chop it up and use it up. Especially since we're going on vacation, we need to use up this fresh produce anyway. And then after the carrots, I'm going to go in and cut in celery. I love celery in my fried rice. I find it super flavorful, super refreshing. It just gives that extra crunch, and when it's fried, it's super delicious. Almost like an onion, but not as pungent, and it gives you that crispy flavor. And you know, because we're eating this fried rice as a main, I want to add in as many vegetables as possible to really amp up that nutrients and also keep you fuller on your flight longer. I love king oyster mushrooms. So you're going to go in and slice this up so that it has more surface area for when you're frying it up, and it's going to get super crispy and super deep in flavor and super meaty. Now you're going to slice up your green onion, and this is going to be for at the end. You don't want to add in too early because you don't want it wilted. And then I have 5 Thai chilies. It's completely optional, but I like my fried rices to be super spicy, so I'm just going to chop this up and add it to my fried rice. And now for the sauce, I'm using the juice of 1 whole lime. I really like this lime squeezer. And then you're going to add in either tamari or your soy sauce or coconut aminos. And then you're going to go in and add in 1 tablespoon of mushroom sauce. So it's also known as vegan oyster sauce, as well as vinegar. So I use rice wine vinegar. You can use ACV, you can use white wine, even kombucha vinegar is fine. So here you'll see how I laid out everything, so it's super easy to fry. And again, it's going to minimize your cleanup in the end. So you want to lay out all of your ingredients so that it's super easy to cook. And you'll see I have my chilies, everything. So preferably you would like to use the same pan that you fry up your rice in to fry up your cashews, but I forgot. So just use the same pan. You're going to roast this for about 10 minutes. Just make sure that doesn't burn, and then move it to another bowl. Then you're going to add in your aromatics. So this is my garlic, my onion, and my spices. Then add in your mushrooms. And then don't let it burn, but you want it to sit so that it could get caramelized. And you're going to add in your other aromatics, so your celery and your carrots, and then you're going to just stir fry it. It's going to be about 2 minutes. At this point, you probably want to bring it down to maybe medium heat. Then you're going to add in your eggs, so that just to get it heated through and everything cooked together. And you're going to add in your kale or your spinach. And again, this is just to add in more nutrients, and it's super delicious. You're going to mix this all so that it gets wilted in together, and then you're going to add in your rice and then your sauce. I also added in my basil and my cashews already, and at this point it's going to be done. You're going to turn it off, and you're going to add in your pineapple and your green onion, and you're just going to mix it all to incorporate. And then there you have it. Super nutrient dense and super delicious fried rice. Super easy to eat. You can eat it cold, eat it hot, eat it on the plane, eat it at work, anywhere.
So there you have it, 3 easy recipes that you can take to travel with you anywhere. Again, on airplanes you can pretty much bring anything, just no hummus, no yogurts, no liquids, nothing that looks like it's a gel that could be an explosive, but you can pretty much bring anything else. You can bring sandwiches, you can bring fruits. Usually fruits and vegetables though, you need to eat it before you get off the plane, but that's fine. I mean, you're going to be eating during the entire plane ride anyway, so having leftover food's probably not an issue. But I hope you guys enjoy these recipes, and comment below on if you have any recommendations or what you thought about these recipes. And don't forget to subscribe. Now set forth and be savvy.